So, Inter, 3. Cagliari, nil. I expect some rotation. Actually, yes, sir. Okay, rotating against Como also. So, yeah. I guess Joseph in for summer. Hopefully it stays that way. And DeVry for Cherby. Hopefully it stays for that way either. But then Mkhitaryan. I guess play the first half and second half. I know that for Mickey. I think the first start. Yeah, the first start off the video or something like that. But Mickey, let this be your last club. Because I know that there are reports that Inter Mickey could have Mickey be his last club. If Mickey doesn't want to renew, he's retiring. I think it's best for him to retire. First half is very diabolical. Of course, difference between first half and second half is the same thing. The only difference is we're not letting Mickey to pass the ball a lot more. Stop giving Mickey the ball. Because, yeah, for Cagliari, low block, sit back and counter. Well, they didn't do anything about that. Trying to win aerial duels against De Vrij and Carlos Augusto. But yeah, Mickey, when he's on, like, okay, with no control, and we're pretty much brain dead in the final third. Like, are we gonna have a final third pass through Mkhitaryan? I don't know, playing. It feels like 10v11. Actually, 10v12. Actually, can't do math for that. We were playing like a 3-4-2. But yeah, first half, I know it's going to be a long match. Hopefully, Cagliari doesn't use the pace. Assuming they have pace. But yeah, it's a good thing that Cagliari's attack is practically brain dead. His first half, I know Hakan creating chances, Barella's creating chances, Thuram's getting something, and Pio getting something also. Like, okay. Of course. I know that one chain I would make it Mickey for Zelia or Juve. I know that Zielinski, he can shoot from the distance. Outside the box, I mean, that's how we got our third goal. And then Juve, who can actually dribble. But like, not too much in the first half. Yeah, just keep going with that. The chances will eventually come. Second half, they did come. Of course, Joseph sweeping from outside the box, which is something you don't see that often. Really with Sommer. Like right timing. And then DeMarco. Low cross, Toronto taps it in. I know it's a tap in, but for tap ins, you gotta time your runs. Time your runs, know your when to run, and be in the right position. It makes the hard part look easy. Because I think for a tap in, the hardest part I think is timing your runs. Of course, you probably need the composure to finish them also. But yeah, Thuram. I don't know what Deschamps said to Thuram, like to get him motivated to be clutch all of a sudden. I don't know what he said. Since the international break, assisting, scoring, really in for Lotti because he thought that Toro, the team would be brain dead and look like an absolute ghost. But there's Thuram. Hikas. Yep. Got a goal. Of course, with DeMarco. It's the joint assist record with is it Papa Gomez? I think so. Yeah, probably, but apparently it's Ronaldinho with 18. DeMarco 16. You need three more. Three more, or maybe one more. Like, I'm awful for it. Second goal, of course, when Inter scored a first goal, Cagliari tried to scramble for a second one. Second goal came from Barella. Great outlet again. Also, got a second goal. Where was he? He finally did step up for once. Again and again. Nice to see. It probably does help when you're uh look in fact Burrow looks physical again. Like okay, for season looks pretty much a ghost of his former self. And then like later season like okay, decides to show up. You know what? I think for Tikas and Barella, they showed up in the right time. Clutch time. Of course there's subs. Bonnie Bonnie Zielinski, Louis Enrique. Yeah, SPL Bonnie did well. I showed some promise when coming off. In fact, as a sub, he's been exceptional, amazing. Because Zelensky got third goal, his trademarked distance long shot, and then there's Louis Enrique. But by the way, he does look better on the left side. Because when you're a dribbler type, you probably want to cut inside and try to play something or shoot. Louis Enrique seems to be the type of player who will cut inside and shoot. Right foot player, play on the left, can cut towards the box easily. In fact, if he does stay for next season, I think he should be playing on the left side. Like, okay. Apparently, I think that Carlos Guz's replacement should be Louis Enrique. If we're going to be that attacking. Or play him as a wide midfielder. Because I don't rate his defending whatsoever. Wide midfielder at most. So yeah, 3-0. In fact, I think give props to Carlos Gusto also. Carlos Gusto, DeMarco. Give props for containing Palestra. Was it? He only created like one chance, and it's very late. But that's probably their only great chance so far. Like okay, but I don't think. Yeah, Caligari didn't do much. No shots on target. Like okay, if I go to the match ratings. Okay, all the match ratings are L10, with 6 being the average. You can leave them in the comments, or yeah, you leave them in the comments. What you think? How each player play? For Joseph, I think he gets a 7. Just because you watch Yan Summer week in and week out, like, what are the goalkeepers coaches watching? They spend more time watching a player on training than on the pitch. I honestly think so. Spend more time watching players on the training than on the pitch. As goalkeeper, like play Joseph. I only think he has too much trust in the goalkeeper department. I think the goalkeeper department, I think they're actually blind. Carlos Gusto, 7. Contained Palestra very well. DeVry, I'll give him 7 also. Because the only thing about DeVry is, why isn't he starting? He doesn't look like he's gonna get spun around like a cherubim. Akanji, I'll give him 6.5. So I don't think we can do much on the right side, but still. 6.5 for Akanji. Hakan, 6.5. I think that controlled play very well. Nice another creative outlet, which is nice. Barella. I'll give him 8.5. And my man of the match. Creative outlets, goal. Yep. This Barella came back at the right time. For Mickey Terrier, I honestly give it a 3. Reason why is the first half no nils because Mickey misplaced so many passes. We can't control. Back, we're supposed to control play, but make it our control a lot harder. So 3. DeMarco, I think I give 6.5. Quite in the first half, second half much better. So like close to assist. Yeah, tied with assist record. I don't know, it could be Ronaldinho with 18. For one reason somewhere. Like 6.5. Theo, I think I give 7. Got an assist. Of course, hold up play is very nice. Linking well up with Tikas. Well, time. Thuram, 8. Okay. I think this combination, I finally started to work together. Because this combination, about time, they started working together. Now we can see it with Bonnie and Thuram. Bonnie and Pio. We gotta see them sooner or later. Because I know for Latoro, he works well with every other striker. Pio, Bonnie, Thuram. Dumfries, I think I give him 6. Nothing special by him. Bonnie, 6.5. Played very well. In fact, I think subs played very well. Zelensky, 7. Watching Mickey all day, like, okay. Not gonna give him fine. Enrique, 6.5. I think his best position is the left midfield role. Not wing back, left midfield wide, and play on wide. In fact, if we do go 4-2-3-1, if Inter, actually, I'm not sure what will Inter go for next season. Enrique on the left, Juve on the right. Because they're both dribbling types. Juve can cut inside from the right. Louis Enrique can cut inside from the left. Of course, if we get DeMarco crossing if we need. Cortezi and Juve, I'm not going to rate. It came very late. Kivu. So I understand for rotation wise, this thing's fair. Kept the heads calm. Yeah, he kept the heads calm. It's Yuri Mia. He's like the shithouser type. It's like okay. Also, but I think the subs came in a bit late, so but prepared the game very well. I guess I give him 7. And referees, I think give it 5. Every foul seems like go against Inter. And in favor of Cagliari. But small ones. Pull out plays, by the way. Also, why didn't you check on Yuri? Why didn't you check on Mina? Why didn't they check him out? Yeah, this it's something. Because I know that he's a type player that can probably get away with fouls, but still, no check whatsoever. All right, looking at the table, I know that Napoli still have to play. In fact, that weekend games are coming up. Probably have time to relax. You do win, you can relax. You draw or lose, you hope the other team drops points. That's how it works. But Napoli, 18 points, 84. So what, 6? I know 7 more points because I do not want a playoff run. I do not want a playoff run against Napoli. Because if it's Conte and Inter, yeah, we're not winning. We're not winning that Scudetto game. So yeah, Conte, Napoli, they're against Lazio next, and still to play Como. Como are not easy to play against. So like, okay, I'm proud for that. So yeah, next week, Como next, and then there's Torino. Because Lottie should be at least be back to Torino. If not, there's also Parma. Yep. I'll see. I think that's it for today for the match day. Post match reaction. So give me a like, subscribe, and Forza Inter.